What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of You Can't Make This BS Up. This is your host, you guessed it, uh, Joel Davis. I had to do some editing on this because had a little few bumps in the road trying to get this Black Friday video out. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it's my internet or Riverside was trying to be crazy. But it's all good. We got it together now. Uh, First things first, I want to thank everybody for uh, just interacting with me on my Instagram, which is You Can't Make This BS Up Ever. I also want to thank everybody on the Facebook page, You Can't Make This BS Up. Also, the Reddit page, You Can't Make This BS Up, and also the Facebook page. Y'all guys are just in the group as well. Y'all guys, I want to let you know is I appreciate y'all so much. I do this for you guys because, especially for the true crime community, I'm trying to be a unicorn in this. And the reason why I say I'm trying to be a unicorn, because first things first, I'm being a black man in this genre that is not only focusing on just black crime, but I'm also expanding on all types of crime because crime is crime. Every true crime is not all about someone getting murdered all the time. It's not all about someone being a drug kingpin. There is or being a mob boss. There are so many true crime situations out there, from scamming, stalking, you name it. It has a tendency of making you really realize that this can happen to anyone. So, without further ado, for this Black Friday being so late, this episode is going to be about the following. Imagine that you have lived your life almost to the years almost to the age of 7, and during that life, you have been harboring a secret that will blow the lid off of the term serial killer, where you have destroyed 93 innocent women lives, and they never got justice, all by your bare hands. That's the story of Samuel Little. That's who we're going to be talking about today. So, please, guys, I want you to know before you get started on this journey with me on this story, we are going to be talking about rape. We will talk about violence. And we definitely will be talking about uh, other sexual subjects that are a little hardcore in nature. So viewer discretion is advised for kids under the age of 13. So with that being stated, let's begin. Samuel Little was born on June the 7th, 1940 in Reynolds, Georgia. His mother, Bessie Mae Little, was reportedly a teenage sex worker. She gave the birth to Samuel while in jail. And as soon as she got out, she dropped his ass like a hot potato. Like, nah, I ain't trying to be no mother. I'm a hoe in these streets. With Samuel having no idea who his father was, he was sent to live with his maternal grandmother, Fleta Daniels, in Lorain, Ohio. Raised in poverty, Little struggled in school. He was later labeled mentally slow, and he dropped out early. But there was something even darker brewing under the surface. He claimed his fascination with violence, and specifically with women's necks. He said started in childhood, and it wouldn't be long before the fascination would turn absolutely dead. Now, Little never finished school. Instead, he roamed the streets. He was committing petty thefts to survive, but he had another talent. That boy could box. They said that Little's boxing game was on point. Like, this dude was a prize fighter, okay? And he would be in amateur boxing matches across the country during the 60s and the 70s. People talked about how strong he was. He was agile, and he was calm and would put them paws to knock you out without hesitating. But let me tell you something. This is not only going to give him an edge in the ring, it also was going to give him an edge when it comes to all the evil stuff that he going to be doing later. See, he would use his boxing skills to overpower the victims. One punch is what it took. And then he would go ahead on and proceed to strangle them. His signature method was no weapons, no noise, no evidence. His transient lifestyle as a drifter and fighter made him nearly invisible. He traveled from state to state, leaving behind a trail of death, yet staying one step ahead of the law. So, from 1970 to 2005, Little stated that he had murdered 93 women. That's right. He stated that he had murdered 93 women. Most of these women were Black, Latino, indigenous, and poor white women. More were sex workers, drug users, or runaways. The people that nobody wants to deal with because they are a problem. Now, at least 60 of his confessions on record that's been confirmed by the FBI makes him the most prolific serial killer in U.S. history. And what's crazy is all the women he named, a lot of them they just finding out was even murder victims. Hell, some of them even never reported missing. This how prolific this guy was. People thought their death was either an overdose, accident, natural causes. And that's why Samuel Little was always in business to continuously commit these crimes, because he knew that back then, especially, no one wanted to search for a poor chick that's out here prostituting herself to survive, or on drugs, or just got real bad mental health, and people just don't want to deal with it. So he knew what he was doing. Like I said, he didn't use no weapons to stab or shoot. He used his bare hands. His hands was his method. No blood, no mess, no mercy. So throughout the 1970s and 1980s, this man had a lot of girlfriends. And not trying to be like sexual towards a man or anything, but this gentleman, Samuel Little, was a nice looking guy for back in the day. He probably could have easily became a model for one of those J.C. Penney catalogs or Roses or something like that. He had that look, and women felt comfortable when they saw him. He dressed real nice. He was very articulate with talking to him. Even though he didn't have all that education, he knew how to make them feel at ease, and that's all it took. Now, one of his most loyal girlfriends / companions that been on record is a woman named Jean Dorsey. Some say she was like a partner in crime. Some say she was like mesmerized by Samuel Little. But they do know is that they stole together, they traveled together, and she was his ride or die. She helped him evade the police. Now, he said that the reason why he never did anything towards her because he really loved her, he really cared about her. She put in the work to make sure he was safe. But he had one thing that he told her that never trigger anything towards her violent was to never try to get him to kiss on her neck. He would not kiss on her neck. He said he'll kiss everywhere else but the neck. Which you're probably saying, well, damn, man, you kissed everywhere else. You kissed that neck. Well, you got to remember what I said earlier. The neck triggers him to be more violent. So that's why he never would kiss her neck. But Jean wasn't the only woman in his life. He also would manipulate women into giving him money, shelter, and access to their homes and vehicles. Okay? He was charming. He had a quiet voice. He grew up with very baritone. And he just used people to get what he wanted. Like, if this chick was feeling him and stuff, it's more like something like on the lines of this. Hey, baby, listen. I need to use your car. All right? Gotta go somewhere. Gotta make a few runs and stuff like that. I'm gonna bring it back. Don't you worry. It's gonna be the way you need to be. But I'm just trying to make sure I can make a little money, what I'm saying, and look out for you. And do what I do. Okay. Thank you. Or another example would be, hey baby, I ain't got nowhere to go. Jean, she kicked me out. She acting a fool again. I need a place to stay, baby. I help you with the dishes. I help you a little bit with the laundry. I'll give you some of that good wood. You know what I need? You know what I'm saying? Just let me come by. Just let me stay there for me. Well, yes, of course, Sammy. You can stay here. I don't mind. That's how he got away with everything. He was very trendy. I got these women to do what he do. Shout out to my wife looking at me like, oh, hell. My wife said, that is not it. Get thee behind me, Satan. So, in 2012, right, after all these years, Samuel Little, as we have known, has been killing people. Just killing women, killing. Now it's 2012. Samuel Little is not the same Samuel Little he used to be. Samuel Little now is old. His health is not the same. I mean, try to keep it 3,000 with you. You know what I'm saying? He is like he's in his 70s actually. No, he's 68. He's in his late 60s, got to be 70. 68 years old. I mean, he's not the same. He got real bad health. So he's in this homeless shelter in Louisville, California, in Louisville, Kentucky. and they arrested him on an old drug warrant from California. So he probably like an old drug warrant, probably something that probably so old, probably like back in 2001 or something. You know how that be. So here he is, he in custody, and y'all know it's standard procedure when you get picked up on a felony warrant, because that drug warrant is probably a felony. They took a DNA sample, and that single test would unravel a Pandora box. His DNA matched 3 unsolved murders in Los Angeles from the late 1980s. The victims, all women, all strangled. Now, I want y'all to understand how it was in the 1980s in Los Angeles, in California. In the 80s in California was a dangerous time for a woman to be alive. You had the Night Stalker. You had the oh my God, I want to say that maybe the Hillside Strangler. I know they had a strangler that was running around in Los Angeles. They had that guy. They had this man here strangling people. So you had a lot of serial. They said in California they had at least about 20 plus serial killers, and the Zodiac killer too. So you had all these killers, serial killers, going around doing mischief in the 80s. I wanted to know, and I wondered if any of these killers ever crossed paths with each other. Like, did they pass each other going by to one of these neighborhoods or something like that to do their dirt, and was like, hey, God, it reminds me of myself. Yeah. I'm just saying, man, because I mean, all that killing they were doing, they had to run into each other some kind of way. Bump in the grocery store, maybe they had a look. I don't know, man. That's just weird, dude, having that many serial killers operating in that areas. And they were all operating in all those areas where these women are being found. So, yeah, dude, that is like insane. But that's for another story for another time. So, anyway, in 2014, he's convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder. He's sentenced to 3 life terms without parole. So you would think that's it. It's the end. They got this guy. He did only 3 killings. Lock him up, Dano. Well, that wasn't it. Because, see, detectives from across the country started looking at these cold cases. Now, Little, he's now in prison, began confessing calmly and methodically. Now, he had a thing that he would do. He would draw portraits of his victims from memory. Like, this is 50 hand-drawn sketches. And they helped them identify all these Jane Does they had that were not solved. He described the clothing they wore, the cars they drove, the cities, the years. He remembered everything except their names. And I'm going to say this while writing this. I made a mistake on that part. He knew some of their names. Because some of them, he did know some of their names. But some of them he did. Now, I'm going to see if I can find some more research about the victims. All right, give me 1 second. Now, here's some background story before I get to the end, and we didn't really talk about. We're going to talk about his juvenile career, because I know a lot of y'all are going to ask me, well, when did he start breaking the law? See, his first arrest came when he was a teenager, because he started breaking into houses. Then he began a criminal career spanning decades. As a juvenile, he spent time at reform school. But by his 20s, Little was fully enriched in a life of crime. Now, between the 1950s and early 2000s, he was arrested nearly 100 times in 24 states. Now he did all kinds of crime. We not only just violating women, he did assault, shoplifting, fraud, and yeah, he even did a crime for even murder. But despite the severity of these charges, Little just knew how to master and work his way out of it. And them charges will often drop. Or he'll get sent with a short sentence. And that just was his thing. So let's see what we got here. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't editing that out in time. So get back to it. So in December 30th, 2020, at the age of 80, Samuel Little passed away in California State Prison in Los Angeles County of natural causes, though he suffered from heart issues and diabetes. Now, he was never charged for all his confessed murders. Dozens of families still don't have closure. Some don't even know their loved ones were even murdered. His legacy is haunting one, not just because of what he did, but because of how long he got away with it, because of how society failed his victims over and over again. And yeah, that's how I feel too. There was no justice. These women should have got more than just what he got from other people. They still should have held his behind accountable. But y'all know what time it is. I'm about to give y'all my synopsis of how I feel about Samuel Little. All right, so we're gonna start to the beginning with Samuel Little. First things first. Samuel was doomed from the start, and let me tell you why. His mother got pregnant and had him while she was in jail, and turned around and was like, you know what? When she got out, I don't want this damn baby. Mama, you better do something with this baby. I gotta go out here and do my roaring. I gotta shake my ass to do my thing, baby. This ain't it. It's the 40s. I got to get back naughty. I gotta go to the jazz club. So that's where he was at with that. His mother was in her teens and didn't want to be dealing with him. The second thing I was gonna say is that nobody did not actually look at the signs that this guy had a fascination with women's necks. I mean, that's a really crazy infatuation. Um, Another thing that is sad is that Samuel Little is one of the many serial killers that have put in place today for a lot of the undesired women that work the street or work in the privacy of their own home, these new protections and warnings when it comes to this typical type of behavior. Especially back in the 60s and 70s, the women that lived a very nomadic lifestyle was always in the streets, always selling their body to pay for all these drugs like heroin when it was hot, then cocaine when it came in the 80s and got popular, and then the rock, crack cocaine. This is why a lot of people start to see their loved ones not get the attention that they need from the police when they tell them, hey, my mom is been gone for so many days, or I haven't seen her. Yeah, my mom do have a drug problem, or my sister has a drug problem, or my aunt, or my sister, or my freaking cousin. It's like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. It's basically was she is less than. We ain't got time for it. So that's why a lot of these girls back then and women back then got killed, and there was never nobody to find out who the killer was, or have any witnesses, because people were trained that these type of folks were not it. I also want to say too about Samuel Little is that he used his boxing skill to keep women from not only escaping, but also to make sure that his work was very complex and went smooth, because he did not want to leave no evidence by using any kind of weapons and things of that nature. So with all this being assessed about Samuel Little, I want to say that Samuel Little was just an evil motherfucker. This is what it was. I think that based upon the things that he experienced in life, through the grown-ups not really trying to be there for him, not having a father figure, and I'm quite sure that his grandma probably scolded on him a whole lot, just like if that's his real mother's mother. They say the apple don't fall too far from the tree. I'm quite sure she had her demons as well. So this guy was not going to have a successful life. He had too many hiccups. Too many. So that's the story of Samuel Little, man. Please check out some of the facts that I'm going to be doing on the show. Let's see if I got everything right about him on his facts. Like I said before, I will try to use some links so you can see the clips of this guy giving interrogational information about some of everything. Yeah, he talks about how he stalked the victims, how they went out, and everything else. Guys, those videos are absolutely insane. But anyway, thank y'all for hanging out. Oh, before I go, we gotta give out the comments. We did get a comment. We did. Oh my God, we did. So let's go to this comment right here. I want y'all to understand that if you like the show, please leave comments. It helps the show grow. It really does. And rate it 5 stars. The rating helps out, man. It makes more people find me. You know what I'm saying? Because we trying to build over here. Real talk. We trying to build. This is from the last episode that I just created the other day. This is from Miss Alanya. And also, before I say anything, Alanya is a dear podcast buddy of mine. Her podcast is you should be checking out. And let me give you the podcast called Nortel's Podcast. That's right, Nortel Podcast. And she is definitely be telling the truth over there. And hey, I enjoy her content, and she is definitely got a lot on deck, probably more than me, for you to listen to. So yes, definitely check her out. Please check her out. So anyway, let me get back to the review she left. She said, I was cracking up when you was trying to pronounce the words because the language is definitely hard. But yeah, lock this man up and throw away the key. And that is from Nels Hoggle. Nels Hoggle. Please check out that case. This is the prolific killer nurse out of Germany. I forgot the little town in Germany he's from, but I decided to do a Germany crime story because there's so many of you guys support me from Germany. I was like, well, let me give y'all one of y'all guys on here. Let's make it international. And boy, I tell you, I did not know. And what's crazy about this guy, he really think that he did nothing wrong. He really thought he was a hero. It's crazy, dude. I'm telling you, if you want to see narcissistic behavior at its finest, you need to check this out. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us, talking to us. I will probably have a podcast episode with me and my lovely wife next month. I know I told y'all this month, but it's probably not going to happen because we got a lot of stuff we're working on. She's working on with her business, but it will be next month. Oh yeah, you will hear the first lady. And let me tell you, she's going to ask me a gang of questions. I might be so mesmerized, I might cancel. My wife is like, you bet not. Anyway, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good evening. Once again, it's your boy Joel. You can't make this BS up. I'm out.